Popular Insights is a digital content and social media marketing agency focused on helping our clients to improve their online brand presence, generate leads, and improve conversions across the entire span of the digital marketing activities. Today, we have about 76 clients. They come from all kinds of industries, MNCs, GLCs, SMEs, startups. What prompted me to start this was actually an interest. So it started as a hobby. I had an interest in social media and content. Later on in SEO, I read books. I started a blog. I've been blogging since 2005. So pretty long time, that's about 16 years. And I wanted to share what I've learned. And in the process of doing that, I discovered that I could build an audience online. And so people were approaching me for help in social media marketing, in building websites and content marketing. I thought, why don't I just start my own agency that way? And so we started in 2014 as a sole proprietorship. In 2017, we became a private limited. You need to have that inquisitiveness, the curiosity to learn. Because the space is always changing, which is interesting because the algorithms change, the dynamics change. You have new platforms coming on board, like TikTok, which is something that I'm looking at now. And I also follow influencers in the space. Some of my heroes include Michael Stelzner, Social Media Examiner, Ryan Dice, digital marketer, Joe Pulizzi, the starter of Content Marketing Institute. And I also look at the local scene to see what are some of the top companies in the social media marketing space, see what they do. That keeps me going. For anybody who is new to digital or social media marketing, they have to get rid of that old traditional marketing 4 Ps mindset. You have to regard the digital channels as its own ecosystem. And one of the ways to do this is to acquire skills that can be used in the digital domain. So one of the very important skills will be content. As I used to say, content is the lifeblood of marketing. And with the right kind of content across multiple channels, whether it is on your website, whether you want to optimize for search engines through SEO, whether you want to get people to share your content on Facebook or TikTok, you need to have an ability to produce content. Now, not everybody can become an influencer. Not everyone can do wonderful videos. But I think most people will have an area of expertise, like they can write, or they can take nice photos, or they can do some nice flashy designs. So that is the content portion. So that's one skill. The other skill will be in terms of your ability to crunch numbers, to look at tables and spreadsheets and charts and not to be afraid of them. Because digital marketing is always about looking at numbers. It has to be data-driven. It has to be informed. You do not want to just create something, just post for the sake of posting, and you find that, hey, I'm not getting leads, I'm not getting clients coming my way. So being able to crunch numbers, having analytic foundation is important. I think one more skill that's useful in digital and social media marketing is to be good with people. I think this is surprising. People they're thinking, but I'm behind the screen most of the time. Why do I have to be good working with people? So this is where you have to be able to engage with your clients through a screen. It could be through messaging, through dropping a comment, through emailing. Building that relationship is very important. One of the things that sometimes social media and digital marketers forget is that the customer relationship is very important. We're not just looking at acquisition, we're looking at retention, we're looking at advocacy. So in order to meet that entire spectrum, you have to be able to build that customer relationship. So this is where it becomes a very important skill. Oh yes, compared to other media channels, whether we're talking about mainstream media channels like TV, radio, newspaper, magazines, or even certain digital marketing options like running an ad on Google or doing display ads. Social media represents the lowest cost in terms of the barriers to entry. It's easier to start a Facebook page, a LinkedIn page, an Instagram account, or a TikTok account, start shooting, videos or photos, and then start engaging with your communities compared to other channels. Of course, in this day and age, nothing is for free, and all the social media platforms are depressing organic reach. So if you want to do anything on Facebook, you have to invest some amount in advertising. Likewise for Instagram, even for new channels like TikTok. But the difference is that the cost per reach, cost per 1,000 impression, or CPM on social media channels are still relatively cheaper than other channels. And the other thing is that social media also represents a good way to build a brand. So for new brands, you can actually use social media to increase brand recognition and brand trust, and that also helps to improve the conversions over the long term. One of our clients, Cheon Machine Tools, they're actually a B2B company. They're a manufacturing company that do CNC machine tools. These are really very big, gigantic machines, almost as big as a room. They can cost from US $250,000 to US $1 million, and they are for manufacturing companies. So what we've done for them is to help to look at their SEO, look at the search, what kind of keywords come. We help to set up their social media accounts, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. We also help to look at the website content. So we help to design, create content, and we do it on a regular basis. And what we have managed to achieve for them is to regularly get clients or leads on a regular basis. So every month we're looking at between 20 to 30 leads coming in, mostly organically through their platforms, through a combination of some SEO, some email marketing, so the client also does some emails, some social media. And so we're very happy because the cost per conversion, the revenue that they get far exceeds what they have invested in the agency. So we're very happy with that outcome. Well, I wish they'd tell me that I have to give up my life. No, kidding. Running an agency is not easy because social media, the internet is 24/7, right? It's up all the time. In social media, the best times of the day for engagement is usually at night and sometimes weekends. So when we run campaigns, we have to sometimes monitor them over a weekend. We have to look at the results, and then we have to tweak and change accordingly. So the hours is one thing. I think the other thing that I wish somebody would tell me is that the algorithms keep changing. So that's something that I have to keep myself abreast of. Even people who are in agencies, nobody can be an expert on everything. So you need to choose your area of expertise, and you need to have partners who are good at what they do. So if I had learned this, then maybe I would have spent more time, reading and learning, keeping things up, so that we don't get caught flat-footed. Although we do respond as and when there are changes, like when, say, Facebook decide to make a change, or Google decide to change the algorithms, then we have to tweak accordingly. I think probably the most important lesson is to have grit and resilience, not to give up easily. The world of digital marketing is constantly evolving and changing. Competition is very keen, especially in the agency side of things. And I guess also in digital marketing training, being a trainer with Trainer Academy, I can also see that there are always people who are trying to eat your lunch. And what you need to do is you don't just give up if you hit a wall, you encounter a mistake or a failure. You have to learn from it, treat each as an experiment. And of course, we are all emotional creatures. If we fail, we'll feel upset. But after a while, you've got to brush yourself up, you've got to get up and then look at what the numbers are telling you, look at what the trends are telling you, and pivot and change accordingly. Because ultimately, what you want to have with you as a digital marketer is the competence, the networks. So, there's this this test question, like, what happens if one day you just lose everything? Your website is gone, it's hacked, it's destroyed. You lose all your followers on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Are you still able to start afresh and build a business? And my take is yes, I can, because I've already learned and acquired these skills. I've got my networks. So even if I could start everything from scratch, I know exactly what to do, I know where I will go to, and I will slowly, once again, build up what we have.